Hey guys, welcome back to the Identity Sports Podcast. Today's episode is brought to you by your friends over at Good Lion Golf, a brand that is built on the foundation that good is greater than safe. We believe the best moments in life don't come from playing it safe, they come from stepping out with boldness. Check out goodliongolf.com and hope you enjoyed today's episode. You're listening to the Identity Sports Podcast, where we dive into the world of faith, sports, and inspiration with athletes from across the country. I'm your host, Zach Vogel. Hey guys, we got a very special guest with us today, and John Daly II. John, it's a pleasure to have you today.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, so we're going to jump kind of right in. I know there's a lot of things that we want to get to today. Obviously, your awesome career. You're at University of Arkansas now, so may have you call the Hogs here or there, maybe not. But talk about your PNC championships, your recent baptism. Congrats on by the way,
Thank you.
and
Thank you.
just talk about kind of what God is doing in and through your life.
Yeah, the PNC is a very special week because I feel like the first couple of years we played it, we were just so focused on winning, and then finally we just kind of realized in 2020, the year before we won, that was just a really fun week, and just the people that play in the tournament. I mean, getting to play with all these legends and seeing their kids, a few of them I grew up with, like going to PJ Tour, like daycare and stuff. So like it's just a nice fun get together. It's awesome.
Yeah. So PGA Tour daycare, I didn't know that was a thing. What does
Yeah,
that look like?
I I don't remember much, but it's just like when like our dads were obviously like out playing. When my dad
Yeah.
was still on tour, they had like a daycare for the players' kids. So like I was really close with, I think a few or who's it? It was Brady Duvall, Justin Leonard's kids, and a bunch of others like Ken Duke's kids, I think. So we all kind
Okay.
of became friends through that.
Yeah, awesome. And Bernard Langer, they just won the PNC championship this past year too. And you had that kind of famous match against Charlie and Tiger Woods. What was that experience like?
We've never really played, or we've never played with them. We've played in front of them and behind them, but we've never been paired together. But on the putting green or on the range, like we get to talk to him for a little bit here and there. But I really haven't engaged with him that much. But yeah, I
Okay.
mean, he's got one of the greatest swings of a 15-year-old I've seen in my life. So I think the
Yeah,
kid's gonna go a long way.
it's pretty impressive to see it that smooth this young, but it'll be exciting to watch his career and your career too as you continue to climb the ranks and get through college. And so tell us a little bit, how did you get into golf? I mean, was it just something that you just took over, obviously, because your dad? What was kind of that moment you fell in love with it?
I think I started playing when I was 2. I would see my dad playing or practicing or whatever, and I would like take his like driver for example, and I'd like tuck the club all the way under my armpits. It was too long for me, so I found a way to just tuck it under. And I think that's why my swing has been like a lot shorter than his because I was so used to being like restricted at a young age, swinging such a long club. So it just kind of stopped me because like the club would be sticking out like over here because I was so
Yeah.
short. But yeah, I mean, I think I just fell in love with it. Just growing up with him and seeing everything he's done, and just watching his highlights as I got older and older, and it's just something I really enjoy doing.
Yeah, and I'm sure just going along with him to those tournaments, just being around the atmosphere and the other guys, there's just that bond and brotherhood that's so fun just to experience on the inside.
Yeah, it's definitely been fun.
Yeah. And so since you've been so close up to it, who would you say is kind of on like your Mount Rushmore of golf?
Like my favorite like golfer of all time,
Yeah.
or just like a top
Like
three, top
your
five,
four favorites, your four favorites.
four favorites. I mean, obviously, like I think my favorite player watching now that I'm like old enough to realize is Scotty by far. I mean, just what he's done in the last 3 years and just how he like I don't know, like kind of how he puts himself out there as a golfer. Like he doesn't care about like obviously he cares about winning, but like it's not his main goal. His main goal is like with his like walk with God, walk with Christ, and just I don't know. I guess his faith plays a big role in his like golfing career, and I feel like that's something that's been easy to kind of like I guess put in my favor or like or someone that I like watching. I guess, and then
Yeah.
but besides that, I think I got to throw Tiger in there. Tiger is probably two. He was one until Scotty came around and started winning everything. But I'd go Scotty, Tiger, um, uh, Jack Nicholas, and probably Rory for like just my favorite watching. Like obviously my favorite is my dad.
Yeah.
But my favorite golfers to watch and stuff. It's probably Scotty, Tiger, Jack, and Rory.
Okay. No Phil Mickelson? Is that a slight because the recent 2v2 match or
Yeah,
what?
Phil kind of made me mad.
Yeah. That
no,
was a
no,
fun
Phil's
watch.
awesome
What
too.
Yeah, that was fun, and I love to see kind of how, golfers are embracing just the YouTube golf world. I mean, Grant Horvat, obviously yesterday at the Creator Classic, winning that. I mean, just what's your experience with the YouTube golf scene versus the ones you've interacted with professional?
I became kind of good friends with Grant and Garrett both because I played with them both when uh, they were both on Good, and then once Grant kind of like moved on to his own thing, I came on his as well. So like I have a pretty strong connection with both of those guys, and yeah, I mean it's awesome to see how far like golf is kind of expanding because back in the day, I know when my dad was in high school and stuff, he kind of got bullied for golfing,
Hmm.
but it's just pretty cool to see like how popular it's become and like everything going on with it.
Yeah, it used to kind of be that sport where like it was almost like dorky, like you didn't want to tell your
Yeah.
friends you played golf, and then now like everyone's playing golf, and I'm like, man, if I would have went back 20 years before my career, like I should have played golf. I shouldn't have played these other sports, and we're all just trying to figure it out in the hacks at the local places now. But tell us a little bit about your upbringing too. I mean, you said you were homeschooled in Arkansas growing up. What effect did that kind of have in your life?
I mean, I think if or trying to think, I mean, I think me being homeschooled played a big role in kind of falling in love with golf because I mean, I would just wake up like I basically didn't have a schedule to do my school. I could do it basically any time of the day. But like traveling with my dad and stuff was a lot easier on him because he didn't have to worry about like school or like put me in school, like showing up, taking me to school, stuff like that. So it just kind of it was convenient for the spot he was in. And I think that's why I fell in love with golf because just traveling to all these places, watching him play, it was just easy to fall in love with golf.
Yeah, that's awesome. How do you feel like you balance the expectations of being a daily on the course while carving out your own path in golf?
I mean, I get this question a lot, like what's it like having John Daly as your dad and all that stuff. I was like, I mean, honestly, it's like how you view your dad is how I view mine. Like he's just a follower to me. He's nobody else. He taught me basically everything I know: how to play golf, how to
Yeah.
like what to do, and like how to like do things. He's just a normal follower to me. But I mean, I think those high expectations definitely float around in my head a few times, or used to at least. Um, just people expect just because you have a famous professional like Tiger, for example, Tiger and Charlie. Like, I feel like everybody's like, I guess, put Charlie in this category that not many people get to until they're 21, 22, whatever. And he's just a kid and he wants to have fun, I guess. And I mean, I don't know him that well, but I think people like expect way too much of him at his age right now. And I mean, I didn't get it as bad, but I mean, I definitely feel like some of the stuff he was probably going through.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I mean, it doesn't ever seem like your dad has been someone that is like really worried about expectations. I mean, he just is very genuine and true to himself. Is
Hmm.
that like did you just kind of feel like that rubbed off on you? Was there specific lessons he kind of taught you in that?
Um, I think I care a little bit more about golf than he does right now, but
Yeah. You're not the
um,
one-handed putts out there and stuff yet?
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think I just like not trying to throw any shade at you, pops, but I think just kind of seeing some of the things he would do just at a young age. Like I feel like I was kind of grown up and like obviously this generation, but with like a older minded mentality, if that makes sense. Because I was always surrounded by a bunch of older people. Like I didn't really have the like normal like I guess, middle school experience or first, second, third grade, whatever. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think just kind of seeing some of the things he did kind of showed me some things I would like want to do the same or change a few things here and there. But yeah, I mean, he's always been super good. He's like a lot of people don't know, I guess, kind of who my dad is outside of golf and outside the like funny memes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and that's obviously one of the big things that strikes me is just that he's true to himself, and it
Mm.
seems like that's rubbed off on you too, to where those expectations, obviously you might care a little bit more about golf, but it's not like that worry of you're just going to go out there and be yourself and you're going to compete, right? And that's you can only control so much on the course. You can control the prep, but at the end of the day, once you hit the ball, you can't control what happens to the ball and stuff, and so
Yeah.
it's really cool just to see that father son dynamic. And even in that match with Phil and Grant, I mean, just the relationship you and your dad have of how close and
Mhm.
the encouragement that you guys give each other was really special to see.
Yeah, no, that was fun. Besides losing, everything about it was fun though.
Getting to University of Arkansas, you've won, you had quite the impressive track record with all the junior golf tournaments and things like that. Was Arkansas the easy choice for you, kind of following in your dad's footsteps?
Um, yeah, I mean, like growing up in Arkansas, it was because like we don't really have a pro team, like a big pro team in Arkansas. Like all we kind of have is just the Hogs and a couple other colleges. I think some Little Rock, there's a few else spread out, but like the main thing at Arkansas is the Hogs. Everyone kind of embraces the Hog and just it's crazy about it. We have some pretty crazy fans, but yeah, I mean, I think Arkansas was always like the number one, but I think I kind of messed up in like the whole like not recruiting progress, but like at tournaments, for example, junior tournaments, there's always a bunch of college coaches that come out, kind of recruiting other kids to see like what they look like in person. And I would always wear. I think I did it up until like my junior year of high school, like early junior year. I would wear my dad's loudmouth shorts and I'd wear the Hogs. So like all these college coaches probably thought I was committed to Arkansas when I really wasn't yet because I didn't commit till I got the call from our coach probably spring of like senior year of high school. And I was like, finally, because I wasn't looking. I was just talking to many schools, and then right when I got off the phone with our coach here at Arkansas, the Florida golf coach texted me. I was like, "Sorry, coach, I literally just got off the phone with Arkansas."
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, they just assume that, hey, I mean, it's almost like you had it destined. I mean, your dad had a great career there, and then yeah, obviously wearing the
Mhm.
Arkansas colors and shirts. I mean, people are probably like, oh well, he's gonna go to Arkansas too. But
Yeah,
what does kind of the average night look like for you in Northwest Arkansas?
no, I'd say workouts 5 to 6, and then we eat dinner at the like our it's called the Jones Center, where like all the athletes eat and stuff.
Yeah.
Where we eat dinner Monday through Thursday there. Probably bed by 9:30, 10 most
Okay.
nights.
Yeah. So not a crazy schedule. I mean, it's still wrapped around golf. But maybe when football season comes around, you do any tailgating or something for those Hogs games?
A few, yeah. Most of the time, I don't do it all the time, but like on Saturdays during football season, the weather's for the start of the football season, it's really nice. So I try and go practice in the morning, and then if it's a 12 o'clock game, I probably just go straight to the game.
Yeah.
I haven't done too many tailgates though.
Yeah.
I've definitely done a few though. Like for the big games, like if we have Texas or Alabama coming, then yeah, I'll probably go tailgate with some friends and stuff. Show my
Yeah, the
face, walk
the
around.
whole town shuts down. You got
I know,
restaurants shut
yeah,
down because 'cause they're all going to the game. It's that definitely like that southern small town, feel.
yeah,
It's great because yeah, you're right. There's no, like I think there's a lot of Chiefs football fans, but there's no professional teams in that little radius, and so the Hogs definitely carry that town, and so it's fun to probably be a part of the university on the golf team just to have that support for you guys all the time. But take us into your career at Arkansas. I mean, what are kind of the biggest challenges you've had both on and off the golf course?
Let's say on the course, I mean, really nothing crazy that challenging. I mean, I've had a wonderful time and a great experience at Arkansas. I was fortunate. We had our freshman orientation with all the new athletes that came in. They brought us all in a room and just kind of just showed us around, and everyone got to meet each other. So I became friends with a lot of like those athletes who were in there, and there was like a little bit of everything. There was football players, or a few basketball. I don't remember, but it was like football, baseball, soccer, gym. So like I got connected with like a lot of different sports. Like my first day on campus, so like I mean, most of the people I met there are some of my closest friends now.
Yeah.
And then the golf wise, I think I've gone through a few swing changes, but nothing much. I mean, I try and change something. I always come back to just my old habits and just sticking to that. But no, I mean, I've had a great time here. It's been awesome.
Yeah. You're not a tinker in your golf game for the most part. You stick to what you know and what has always worked for you.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard growing up not to develop the skills of being like a field player. Like I'm not that technical. I mean, I enjoy the range, but I'd much rather go play. I've never been a good ball striker on the range. I just warm up and just go straight to the course.
Yeah. Those famous show and goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just show up and sometimes play better that way. But no, there's definitely something said about that in golf too. You know, sometimes a lot of times, especially for amateurs, people just get in their head way too much. But so tell us a little bit. I mean, the faith side of things. You know, congrats on your recent baptism. What kind of led to that recently?
Yeah, I mean, back to that freshman orientation thing. I became really good friends with he was he was our kicker, Cameron Little. He plays for the Jaguars now, but I became really good friends with him like early on in my freshman year, and I like I knew he was he was like a Christian, and he went to church a lot and stuff. And I'd probably say I didn't start going to the church till to cross church until about I think spring of freshman year. I went a few times, but I got serious with it my sophomore year, early on, and I just I guess surrounded myself like around like the people that were like doing the right things, I guess, and just kind of doing things that I wanted to be doing. And yeah, I mean, he kind of brought me along with him church a few times, and then that sophomore year I was going a lot, and then I became good friends with I think he's a pastor, like one of the pastors there. I've only heard him talk once though. There's another guy that talks and does the services, but his name's Noah Graves. He's the one that baptized me. But yeah, I think we had a few lunches, like I guess spread it out through my sophomore year, and he kept like asking me like, "Hey, like let's pick a date, like this, like I want you to get baptized." Because he asked me if I had ever been. I was like, I think I was as a kid, but I don't really remember it. And he was like, "All right, well, just whenever you like want to do it, like let's do it." And then I finally sat down. I was like, "Look, I don't care. Just pick a day. Like I want to do it. Like let's do
Yeah.
this." And then yeah, that just I think just the people I surrounded myself around my freshman year kind of played a big role in that because they would be or they would always like invite me to come, and it was nice. It's definitely been a good journey.
Yeah. And what do you think kind of led you? I mean, it sounds like there was just kind of a drawing that kind of led you closer and
Mhm.
closer. Was it that like you saw something different in those people that you were around?
No, I mean, I just felt a lot happier,
Hmm.
like I mean, because I've always been a believer at a young age. I think what kind of like jump started my walk with Christ. It was probably my junior year. I was playing a golf tournament, and I was just scrolling through reels before on my phone, like Instagram reels, whatever. And I heard the song, and what was this? Junior year of high school. That's right. I was playing. I remember to this day. It's like one of the only days I remember in junior golf. Probably because I played good, but um, no, there was this one song. It was called. I'm sure you know. It's "Nobody" by Casting Grounds, I think.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that song, like I found it on the reel, and I was just putting, chipping before my tee time. And it was playing. I was like, man, I really like this song. And then um, I didn't realize it was a Christian song up until about like the third time I played it because I just really liked the sound of it. And then I read the lyrics. I was like, oh wow, it's a Christian song. It's pretty cool. And then yeah, I mean, I think that day played a big role because that kind of led me to just kind of playing more and more Christian music. I mean, I think music played a big role in my like just like everything with me, like becoming closer to Christ and stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, was that so before then it wasn't necessarily a routine to listen to Christian music. It was just kind of, on shuffle or something and that song came on?
No, yeah, because I found that song like on reels and stuff, and it was just playing like some random like I can't tell you what the reel was. It was just
Yeah.
playing, and then I added the song, and then I started playing a few more, and I was like, "Well, it's pretty cool." And then I kind of just blew it off, and then but ever since that day, because it was the first day I started riding. It was that same day when I heard that song. It was the first day I started riding the cross on my golf ball, and
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not saying this is the reason I play it at all. Like whatever,
Yeah.
like God's purpose for me. It could be golf, could not be golf. Who knows? But like that day's been pretty special because like every day since then, I've done the same thing with my golf ball. I play a lot of the same songs before I warm up. So yeah, I mean it's been pretty cool.
It's like that cool aspect because, yeah, being a Christian doesn't make you a better athlete,
Hmm.
but there's something to be said of being an athlete who is a Christian. I mean, there's definitely something that, like, in Christ, you can learn to compete better because you're competing in that freedom, right? Where you can go, it's almost like you're a kid again. You can go out and have fun and enjoy the game for what it is. And so it sounds like now you've kind of incorporated that in your practice and in your routines.
Yeah, I mean I think the biggest thing I'm kind of going through right now is just I mean, obviously, at the end of the day, I don't really care what like my score says on the scorecard. I just go out there and just trust that I can play good. But no, I think just main focus right now is trying to have the same, which is impossible probably in golf, but trying to have the same feeling after like say a 64 or 65, like a really good day, and just trying to match that feeling with a bad round, like a 75 or 78, whatever. Just trying to have the same attitude and just do the same things that kind of just, I guess, help me become a better person, just help me like do the right things, I guess.
I love that you consider a bad round a 75 or 78, and I'm like, "Man,
Well,
I've never
80s,
even
whatever.
shot a 78." No, I mean, that would be phenomenal. I'd be telling all my buddies about that, but no, you're exactly right. I mean, it's that when you find your basically your identity in Christ, that outcome, it doesn't affect who you are. God's not going to love you anymore whether you go out and break a record on the course or you go out and shoot a 78 or in my language if you go out and shoot a 95. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
bad round, but God's love for you, it's not going to change because of that. And what are some verses and stuff that you feel like have kind of helped you when you feel yourself kind of stray out of that, identity piece or maybe getting frustrated on the course, what kind of brings you back?
Um, honestly, like a big part of it is just the music. I've created a solid like playlist, but there's a few verses, nothing off the top of my head. What's it? I think it's Jeremiah 29. I think
2911.
yeah, 29:11. Like if I had to pick a verse, that's probably my favorite verse in the Bible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great too, because just that, like anything you do, that he's kind of already, he knows what's going to happen and he's got you in his hand and that you can kind of roll with the punches basically that life throws you. But yeah, that's such an encouraging verse. And so you said you're going across church there and you're trying to plug in. I mean, do you feel like kind of in this season now, as you're preparing, what is kind of God revealing to you right now in this moment?
Um, just being patient, whether it's with golf, I feel like, or I guess friends or whatever, just kind of just learning how to kind of live alone, if that makes sense. Like not having to rely on what someone else is doing or like what I want to be doing instead, I guess. I don't know. I think it's just trying to, I guess, just help me be patient and just not worry about 5 years, 10 years from now. Just kind of just reading more in His Word and yeah, just being patient. I guess that's all I can really think of. I mean,
Yeah, I love that because you're like, especially in college. I mean, it's for like the first couple years of college, it's like all consuming of okay, this is who I am, this is what I'm doing in college, and then all of a sudden you start getting to your junior senior year, and your mind can start to wonder of oh, what am I going to do after college? Have I paid attention to my degree? Have I,
yeah,
what's the next step for me? And so, I mean, have you thought much about that? Is your goal just to go? You want to try and get onto the tour?
yeah. I mean, I think I'm gonna give it a pretty solid amount of time to try and make it because I mean, I think I have a lot. Like, luckily, the like some of the good things that come out about having the like last name I have is just like everybody like knows who John Daly is, and I guess having that name, I guess it's going to be pretty beneficial. Like I guess maybe if I have a good week here and there, maybe somebody sees a name, sponsor exemptions, whatever. Maybe I don't know, but I think just I've been blessed with a lot of very solid connections with whether it's like other pros or other big time, I guess, like sponsors, if that's the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I'll definitely give golf a shot for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, your name can certainly open certain doors, but it's up to you to
Mhm.
walk through them and to
Yeah.
keep opening those doors, right? And you've done a phenomenal job of that your whole life. I mean, just seeing all the tournaments you've played in and your progress. I mean, there's no doubt you're a remarkable player, and even without the name, you'd still have a lot of these chances, and to continue to crush it. And so we're excited to continue, just taking a look and watching and following your career. Maybe you'll end up on a couple more YouTube. Maybe you'll get a 2v2 or 1v1 with Garrett Clark one of these days.
Oh yeah, we had a 1v1, but I think he was kind of mad at me because I made him come out to Arkansas and play the Blessings. I was in school, and I mean, playing our home course for the first time, it's gonna kick you. It's gonna kick your butt pretty bad. It's so hard. So not knowing some of the lines, it can be hard. So he came out here, and I guess he said it was one of the worst rounds he's played in a while. I was like, dude, look, the first time I played this course, I think I shot like an 87. So trust me, you're not the only one. But
Yeah.
no, we do a lot of stuff. They're him. I mean, all the other YouTube stuff. They're all great people. It's just super fun to watch.
Yeah. What is the home course for Arkansas?
It's blessings.
Okay. Yeah, I played high school golf in Arkansas for a little bit, and Stonebridge was our home course. I
Stonebridge.
don't know
Yeah,
if you
that's
ever played
about
that.
what's that? Like 5-10 minutes from campus,
Yeah,
I think.
that was a tough course for me.
Yeah, I go out there every time some of like my baseball or football buddies want to go play, just because they can't get out on the blessings. But
Yeah.
I go out there with them a few times, and we just go out and mess around. It's kind of fun for me, as I just play and don't really care where the ball goes.
Yeah, exactly. So what's this season looking like for the Razorbacks? You guys got high hopes this year? How are you guys shaping
Uh,
up so far?
we had we had a rough fall. Our team's very young. We have a three, four freshmen, I think, and a transfer. But we didn't get off to the best start in the fall. But we started in the spring a couple weeks ago. We played Puerto Rico. We won our first of this semester, which was big. And we played really good in Cabo. So like we're definitely trending in the right direction. We had a bad week in Georgia, but like I said, it was just a rough week from the start. Bad weather, no practice round, driver
Crack
connect.
driver.
Yeah, but those weeks happen. We just got to put it past us and just move on. I mean, we have the talent to do some pretty big things. I mean, I'm pretty humble though. I don't like we're like looking saying we're going to win something, whatever. But I think we can definitely give it a long run in the season.
Yeah, well, and that's just like that attitude too that you were mentioning earlier. Like you had some good rounds, but then you go into Georgia and have a really rough week where just everything's going
Mhm.
wrong, equipment failures, rainouts, things like that. But then being able to bounce back quickly, and just have that even keel of, hey, those things are going to happen. That one tournament's not going to define your whole season. You still got a long way to go. So where's kind of the next tournament? Where are you guys off to?
Our next tournament is in Florida. It's the Valspar. It's one of the strongest college fields there is. Cabo's up there too, but I think this is, I mean, basically a tournament that has, I'd say, a very good amount of teams that are in the national championship in May. So that's in Florida. That's when's that? 2 weeks. I think we're supposed to leave next Friday, so a week from tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, and hopefully you'll get some good weather, get a practice round in there. And it's been a pleasure having you today on the show. I really appreciate you and just how it all kind of happened. We saw you on Instagram following, and then I actually Noah Graves and I go way back actually. So it's funny to see that picture and be like, I know that guy. And
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
shout out to Noah Graves. He's an awesome guy just from the background that I have in Arkansas as well. But as you're continuing walking into this and in the next steps, what is a way that us as listeners and people who listen to this podcast, how can we encourage you and just pray for you as you continue to walk this out?
Um, I would say main thing, just I guess relying more on the word and just reading more of the word. I guess. I feel like I pray a lot, but I feel like I definitely need to read more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of that thing too that just kind of grows on you. I mean, I've heard,
Yeah.
different people with like Aaron Baddeley and some of those established guys on tour when they share their faith. It's just one of those things that just like getting in the weight room, just to practice. It's one of those things where you start with a verse or two here or there and then it just grows and grows and then eventually like instead of looking as like a chore, it's something that like, hey, I'm excited to wake up early to get
Yeah.
in this and dive into. And I love just the journey that you're on and seeing that in you and just your boldness now and wanting to share that faith and live it out there on the course. So thanks for what you're doing and being a light out there. And if you don't mind, let me go ahead and pray for us and then we can kind of close
Yep.
this out. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you just for the chance to get here and talk with John, God. And thank you for everything that you're doing in and through his life and just the encouragement that he will have on people listening today. And we just pray that you'll just continue to encourage him and bring those, the right people around him. And, as he was saying, he just kind of feels like you're calling him just to be patient and trust your timing, God. And we'll just pray that you'll continue to do that and bring the right people around him to also encourage him in that and encourage him in his faith so he continue growing in you and living out his faith and being a light. We pray this all in your name. Amen.
Amen.
You're listening to the Identity Sports Podcast, where we dive into the world of faith, sports, and inspiration with athletes from across the country. I'm your host, Zach Vogel.